Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Khalid Nathan Aleem, and welcome to the Life Hack Show. I just made that up. Listen, to on this channel, we're about success. Okay, we're about success. So when you're looking to be successful, there's certain things that you have to address. So today we're addressing six defense mechanisms that you don't even know that you're doing. Again, we're talking today about six defense mechanisms. Let me say that correctly. So let me say it slowly. We're talking about six defense mechanisms that you don't even know is happening. We got to realize what's going on. We can't change something if we don't realize what's going on. If you want something to grow, you have to be able to measure it. Meaning what? That you have to recognize it. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about six defense mechanisms that you don't even know what's going on. What I want y'all to do right now is I want you to like this, and I also want you to share it. Share it to six people. All right, we're talking about six defense mechanisms. So share this with six people right now. Right now, share it with six people. All right, so there's some pretty amazing defense mechanisms out there in nature. All right, you got seagulls squirt up their own intestines, okay, to make a veiled escape. You got birds like peacocks and turkeys that ruffle their feathers. Small animals like bugs and frogs carry poisons and colors on their back to scare away predators or punish stubborn ones. But when it comes to people, there may be a few defense mechanisms that you're using but you barely recognize. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Some defense mechanisms. All right. So the first one, which I think the first one is. The first one is denial. As they say, denial is not only a river in Egypt. All right. So it says that sometimes an event or occurrence is so devastating. All right. It's so devastating that we tune it out and don't even know we're doing it. You can become aware of your denial when other people around you call something to your attention. So something never happens just so bad, and you like, listen, I'm not even thinking about it. And you just go ahead on about your business. Okay. So that's one defense mechanism is denial. Just it's just so devastating that you don't even think about it. And or you just push it out of your mind. Okay. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. I mean, if something is happening where I don't know, you're with your spouse, and if it's something that's small, then yeah, you may just want to forget about it and not even pay it any attention and keep on going. But you don't want to be in denial to a point where it hurts you. Okay. So again, denial is something happens, but you tune it out as if it's not even happening. Okay. That's the first one. Number two is repression. Repression. Okay. This is a sort of denial, but it involves burying a thought, a feeling deep inside where it tends to come out in other ways. For example, if you can be furious at your boss, but you can't release that anger at work, so you become argumentative at home. This happens with a lot of people. This happens with a lot of people, and sometimes I have to check myself. Okay, I have to check myself because it's like, I'm feeling testy. What is this mortgage commitment? Okay, I'm feeling testy, but that's not because of what happened at home. Technical difficulties. All right, we good. Um, so that's repression. Repression is where you're furious at something, but for some reason you can't let that out on that person. So you bring it to somewhere else. What you have to do for that is you gotta recognize it first. You gotta recognize it like, man, I'm mad as I don't know what. And whoever you're encountering, let them know. So, for example, in this example, if you at your job and you're furious at your boss and you come home, let your spouse know, hey, I had it out with my boss. I'm a little bit uptight. All right. But don't just bury it and then explode. A lot of us do that. A lot of us do it. So the first thing is to address it and speak on it. I'm tight right now. I'm super tight right now. And keep it pushing. So then that other person knows, all right, leave him alone. Leave him alone. All right. So again, we're talking about the 6 defense mechanisms that can be going on and you don't even know. So again, number 1 is denial. Number 2 is repression. Number 3 is projection. All right. Projection. This one is funny. Projection, it's often easier to ignore your own faults and pretend like other people had them instead. Projection involves seeing something bad in other people, which may or may not be their character, okay? But you're the actually one that's exhibiting that trait. So that's what projection is. You're projecting that trait that you have on somebody else. So you talking to somebody and you really mad and you ask them, well, why you mad? You're the person that's really mad. Or you might be getting smart with somebody and the person says something and you take it in a smart way. And it's like, well, why you getting smart? No, you were getting smart. So we got to recognize that in ourselves. And what are we trying to protect ourselves from when we do these things? Okay. So we have denial, we have repression, and we have projection. When you're trying to project a characteristic that you have, but you're trying to project it on somebody else. Okay. That's a defense mechanism. Number 4 is rationalization. All right. Now this one involves taking a wrongdoing by you on others or others on you and reasoning it out to be okay. Okay. You'll have to create a complex new system of logic in order to work this one out into the universe in an acceptable way. But all sorts of crimes like embezzlement or genocide have been rationalized as acceptable by somebody. Okay. So again, rationalization. So when you try to rationalize, saying like, okay, that happened because of this. I had somebody do that yesterday. Um, did you see that football player who was driving? He was drunk and he was driving super fast and he ran into that girl and killed that girl and the dog. And what the guy said was like, oh well, yeah, that's kind of messed up all around the board. Well, you're rationalizing it, okay? You're rationalizing it, man. That man killed that girl. He killed that girl. He was drunk. He was drunk, and he was driving that car super fast. He was driving like I think they said before impact he was driving, according to them, like 115 miles an hour. He killed that girl. But somebody was trying to rationalize it. So that's what people do. A lot of people do that when they don't want to be wrong. Okay. When they don't want to be wrong, they want to rationalize what they're talking about or what their point is. They want to rationalize it. And this is good to know so you can point it out in others also. When you're talking to somebody and you know what they're saying is crazy. You know what they're saying is just out of here. You can let them know, man, you're trying to rationalize what you're saying. It doesn't make sense. And a way that you show them that it doesn't make sense is put that same scenario on somebody else. Put that same scenario on somebody else, and that removes some of the feeling from them. Now you got stubborn people, and you got stubborn people who will just stay on what they want to stay on, and that's kind of it. But a lot of times, if you take this situation and you take the feelings out of it, then they'll be able to better rationalize what's going on. All right. So again, we got the 6 defense mechanisms. If y'all like this, please like this. And also send this out, man. Send this out to 6 people. All right. So we got denial, repression, projection, rationalization. All right. So we almost there. Number 5 is regression. All right. Now let's talk about this defense mechanism. Now, regression basically involves taking a step back developmentally to a space where it's physically or emotionally safe. Now, children often regress as they move through life, going through periods where they revert to acting like younger children. Adults may also undergo this process. For example, after getting fired from a job, you may revert to the safety net of looking for a similar paying job instead of searching for a better one. All right, so Even as an entrepreneur, there's some entrepreneurs, they may get punched in the mouth by a business deal, or something goes south, and they might regress back into go and getting a 9 to 5 job. Some do, some don't. So you got to watch that. You got to watch regressing back and going into something that's safe versus moving forward, okay, and stepping into your greatness. So that's number 5. Number 6 is reaction. It says sometimes the primal instincts take over and we get ready to fight. Okay. In situations that don't have a lot of time around them, you can quickly jump into a reactionary mode before reflecting and calming down. For example, if somebody cuts you off in traffic, you could step into a mode of road rage. Or if somebody argues with you at work, you could quickly defend yourself by escalating the situation into a shouting match. So the last one that we're going to talk about here today is reaction. All right. Not taking the time to calm down and think. A lot of this happens when you're younger. And it doesn't mean that old people or older folks don't get into foolishness. It definitely doesn't mean that. Okay. But we should be thinking our way through situations, not just reacting. Because a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times when we react, the reaction is wrong. And I'm sure you have many, many stories about that. I have many stories about that. But we're just reacting, and we react, and our reaction is not correct. What we should have did is slow down, thought about, calm down, reflect on the situation, and then move from there. Okay. So all these, knowing these situations, knowing these defense mechanisms can definitely help us out in life. It can help us out. All this can help us out in life. Okay, we got the 6 defense mechanisms: denial, repression, projection. Okay, projection. Let's talk about that one, because one of my buddies just put on here, if the Denver Broncos was your team, okay, you might be repressed because of that. Well, he's projecting, okay, his insecurities about his team onto my team, because he knows that his team is trash. So since he knows his team is trash, he's trying to project that onto my team, okay, which is the Denver Broncos. We trash right now, but it's cool. So we got rationalization, or maybe that's what he was talking about, trying to rationalize being a Denver fan. We got regression and we have reaction. Okay, learn these mechanisms, learn these defense mechanisms, so that you can use them. Know when you're using them, and know when somebody else is using them also. Okay, know when somebody else is using them also, and then you may be able to call them out, and then y'all may be able to get somewhere. All right. All right, y'all. It's Khalid Nathan Aleem. If you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate, I got you. All right, y'all. Take care.